you have your Bibles, please grab them, open them to the book of Genesis. We are in chapter 19. This is our 8th week of our series, Living by Faith. Before we go any further, though, I didn't bring it with me, but we have little invitations out there. Do you realize that 4 weeks from today is Easter? And then Good Friday service will be that Friday, August 3rd. But before Easter Sunday, we're going to have a special day of celebrating kids. We're going to do a special outreach. We have little cards that Zoe made up for us back there. So grab some of those if you haven't already and get those out. We would really like to reach a lot of kids. Just have a bunch of kids to the building, kids and their families. We want them to know good news, right? The good news is Jesus and his gospel. So grab those, get those out to your friends and family and neighbors. Genesis 19 today. We are in the series called Living by Faith. This is our 8th week, and today I wanted to talk to you out of this chapter about fear. Fear. Because if you're going to understand a thing, this thing called faith, we have to understand its counterpart, its opposite, and that's fear. Anybody deal with fear? Everybody does. So, fear, I think, is the single most common force that acts against us in life. Fear. If faith is trust in God, fear is trust in everything that can go wrong. Oftentimes, our minds suggest to us all the worst case scenarios, and we call it wisdom. But fear distorts reality, it shrinks our courage, and it keeps us in prison. Now, I should say, not all fear is bad. Okay, some fear is a good thing. It keeps us safe, keeps us smart, keeps our hand. If we reach our hand and touch something hot, fear brings us back, or it brings us back from the edge of the cliff. You're not going to get too close to the cliff because of a healthy level of fear. You're going to slow down on icy roads. Those kinds of things. It's good to have fear. It reminds us that we aren't invincible. But there's another kind of fear that is not good. Some fear protects us, but some fear paralyzes us. Some fear keeps us alive. It preserves life, but some fear kind of sterilizes life, and it keeps us from stepping out and daring great things. It keeps us from obeying God. So fear can keep a person alive, but it can also keep a person in prison. Fear is like a knob. You want to keep it at about a 2 or a 3, right? If it gets to a 4, 5, and a 6, things can quickly spiral out of control. So we want to embrace the fear that keeps us smart and reject. Say that with me. Reject. Reject the kind of fear that keeps us stuck. Some fear will keep you in the will of God, and some fear will keep you out. We want to know what kind of fear to reject. And today, as we look at Genesis 19, this passage is full of the kind of fear that we need to reject. So I'm going to read. It's a long passage, so we're going to do this in movements, in parts. I'm going to begin with verse 1. We're going to read through verse 16. But before we do this, we're jumping right into the middle of a story that's been going for some time now, but it's really closely linked to the story that Annika preached about last week. So let's really quick look to chapter 18, verse 16. Remember, these men came to visit Abraham and set out to do a grisly task. We find that here in verse 16. Then the men set out from there, and they looked down towards Sodom. Skipping down to verse 20. Because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and their sin is very grave. I, God says, will go down to see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry that has come up against me. And Annika left us last week with these two angels going down towards Sodom. That's where we pick up our text today, verse 1, chapter 19. The two angels came to Sodom in the evening. And Lot was sitting in the gate of Sodom. When Lot saw them, he rose to meet them and bowed himself with his face to the earth and said, My lords, please turn aside to your servant's house and spend the night and wash your feet. Then you may rise up early and go on your way. And they said, No, we will spend the night in the town square. But he pressed them strongly. So they turned aside to him and entered his house. And he made them a feast and baked unleavened bread, and they ate. But before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both young and old, all the people to the last man, surrounded the house, and they called to Lot, Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us, that we may know them. Now that little word know is kind of a euphemism for having sexual relations with them. Bring them out to us, that we may have sexual relations with them. Lot went out to the men at the entrance and shut the door after him and said, I beg you, brothers, do not act so wickedly. Behold, I have 2 daughters who have not known any man. Let me bring them out to you and do to them as you please. Only do nothing to these men, for they have come under the shelter of my roof. But they said, Stand back. And they said, This fellow came to sojourn. He has now become the judge. Now we will deal worse with you than with them. And they pressed hard against the man Lot and drew near to break down the door. But the men, the 2 angels, who were now inside the house, reached out their hands and brought Lot into the house with them and shut the door. And they, the 2 angels, struck with blindness the men who were at the entrance of the house, both small and great, so that they wore themselves out, groping for the door. They were in quite a frenzy. Verse 12. Then the men, the 2 angels, said to Lot, Have you anyone else here, sons-in-law, sons, daughters, or anyone you have in the city? Bring them out of the place. For we are about to destroy this place, because the outcry against his people has become great before the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and said to his sons-in-law, who were about to marry his daughters, Up, up, get out of this place, for the Lord is about to destroy the city. But he seemed to his sons-in-law to be jesting, to be joking around. As morning dawned, the angels urged Lot, saying, "Up, up, take your wife and your 2 daughters." Forget about your sons-in-law. Your 2 daughters-in-law, or your 2 daughters, and unless you be swept away in the punishment of the city. But, verse 16, he lingered. He puttered. He shuffled his feet. He took out his phone and he started to scroll. He lingered. Really, really, really interesting stuff here. So this leads us to the first slide. This text is full of the kind of fear that we need to reject. And the first kind of fear we see in this text that we need to reject is a fear that leads us into denial, or keeps us in denial. Lot was afraid. We know this. His sons-in-law were kind of out to lunch. They didn't care. But Lot, he was troubled. He was afraid. He knew the seriousness of it all, but he lingered. Why? Because of this little thing called cognitive dissonance. Have you heard it? Cognitive dissonance. I know this is true, but I don't want this to be true. Or we could just say denial. It's a classic defense mechanism. It's kind of a buffering mechanism. We don't like to hear certain things, and so we go into a state of, shall we say, shock or denial. No, that can't be real. That can't be right. I know something's wrong, but I'm going to act like it's not. Cognitive dissonance. The mind likes to protect itself by suppressing the knowledge of threat. You feel the lump, and you choose not to do anything about it. You feel distance in an important relationship, and you choose to do nothing about it. You see a troubling pattern in your children's life, and you choose to do nothing about it. There's something wrong, so I'm going to act like it's just fine. It's fine. It's fine. And so we spiritualize, we over-intellectualize. We get to a place where we know, but we don't want to do anything about it. We change the subject. We delay decisions. We stay busy. We ignore things. We act like things are not real. Anything but deal with the problem. Anything but face the problem. Anything but admit the problem to ourselves and, Lord forbid, somebody else. It's a defense mechanism. It's called denial. And it works for a while. But if it lingers on too long, it becomes problematic. Especially when times are urgent. When the house is on fire. There's no time for cognitive dissonance when the house is burning. When the ice beneath your feet is beginning to crack. When the bridge is washed out, it's a time to act. When the storm is on the horizon. When the doctor says you need to deal with this now. There are certain symptoms, like stroke symptoms. When you start to experience those symptoms, you can't linger. You've got to act fast. When the warning lights on the dashboard are beginning to flash. When the relationship is at a breaking point. When God says, get out of Sodom. Get out of that situation. Get out of that room. Get off of that site. When the window to act is closing. Got to move. You got to feel the urgency. You got to feel the heat. You got to feel the moment. You got to understand what's happening. And in moments like this, you don't linger. You move. You get out of there. Scripture says, I love this, the time of salvation is now. We can't always put it off. You can't always put it down the road. There's not always going to be another day. Salvation is always now. It's not later. Yes, God is patient. God is long-suffering. His patience is our salvation. But there's going to come a day where that window will close. I think we need to be more spiritually urgent. When that relationship needs repair, act. When that apology needs to be made, when that bitterness is taking root in your heart, when that habit needs to die, we need to act. When that secret needs to be confessed, when that boundary needs to be set. You hearing me today? I pray, oh God, I want to be patient, I want to be kind, I want to have all the fruits of the Spirit, but I want to be one intense dude. I want you to be one intense people when you know there is moments to act and to get out of a situation. I want us to be intense when it comes to sin. Don't linger. Don't let it take a root. Don't let bitterness get in there. Unforgiveness. Be intense. We need to know when that step of obedience needs to be taken. And in those moments, the worst thing you can do is linger. Because delayed obedience is just another form of disobedience. They say, a no response is a response. A delayed response is your response. You're already telling me something by not telling me something, God says. And my friends, reject this kind of fear that leads us into denial. I'll deal with it later. No, reject it. Reject it. That's the first kind of fear to reject. Now let's look at this. Let's look at this next kind of fear. If you turn your Bibles, open to 16, verse 16 again. Starting with the second part of that verse there, 16b. So the two angels seized him. This is glorious. This is good. This is what God often does. Despite us, this is what he does for us. So the two angels seized him and his wife and his two daughters by the hand, yanked them out of there, the Lord being merciful to them. And they brought him out and set him outside of the city. And as they brought them out, one said, "Escape for your life. Do not look back or stop anywhere in the valley. Escape to the hills, lest you be swept away." And Lot said to them, "Oh, no, my lords, behold, your servant has found favor in your sight, and you have shown me great kindness in saving my life, but I cannot escape to the hills, lest the disaster overtake me and I die. Behold, this city near enough to flee to us." Excuse me. "Behold, this city is near enough to flee to, and it is a little one. Let me escape there. Is it not a little one? And my life will be saved." He's in panic mode right now. And he said to him, "Behold, I grant you this favor also, that I will not overtake the city of which you have spoken. Escape there quickly. For I can do nothing till you arrive there." Therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar, which means little. And the sun had risen on the earth when Lot came to Zoar. Then the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah sulfur and fire from the Lord out of heaven, and he overthrew those cities and all the valley and all the inhabitants of the city and what grew on the ground. But Lot's wife behind him looked back in another moment of panic, and she became a pillar of salt. So the next slide says here, the first slide says, reject the kind of fear, keeps you in denial. Talked about that. Now we're going to talk about rejecting the kind of fear that sends you into panic. Okay, so sometimes there's good fear and there's bad fear. These are the kinds of bad fear we don't want in our life. Reject it. Fear, untethered fear, can be irrational. Gets us very emotional and very non-rational. We lose our rationality. Our faculties of rationality disintegrate when there's fear. The angels are trying to produce urgency in Lot, in his family, a healthy fear. But Lot goes into panic. You can see it here in verse 20. It's like, escape to the hills. That was the commandment. I mean, they already saved you. Don't you think they're going to continue to save you? Obey what they told you. But no, I can't do that because I'm scared. And so let me go to this little town over here. Is it not a little town? He's just stammering over his words. He's in a panic. We even see it when he offered his daughters up to be raped. What are you doing, idiot? I don't fathom that, but clearly they were operating under cultural norms. That was just like, you just don't like upset guests of that stature, and so give your daughters to be raped, But again, clearly he was in a panic. He didn't know what else to do, so here's my daughters. Like, oh, good grief. And we see it when Lot's wife looked back. Everybody is right now going into a panic. And we can't let fear spiral out of control. Remember, keep the knob at 2 or 3. Some fear is good, but we don't want it to escalate down to a 4, 5, 6, and beyond. That's when we go into panic mode. Wow, sorry. Excuse me. Deflect the cough up. So I've struggled with anxiety on and off during my adult years. And they call it generalized anxiety disorder. Sometimes you can't put a thumb on it or a finger on it exactly what is bothering you, but all of a sudden you just get these surges of anxiety come on. And they've led to panic attacks. Not pleasant, not fun. And during an episode of some of these panic attacks some years back, I was complaining to my therapist that I was still having anxiety, and because that's why I initially came to him, and I wanted them to go away. And again, why are you anxious? People, what's bothering you? I don't know. Just anxious. And I was still having these, and my therapist said, I was complaining, and he says, well, Demetrius, it's a good thing that you're having some anxiety so you can practice some awareness. You can escalate down that spectrum of fear and anxiety if you're not aware of yourself. But now that you're feeling a little bit of anxiety, it helps you practice self-awareness so you can practice a little self-care. I need to check in with myself, take care of myself a little bit more today than I typically do because I'm feeling some of this stuff. So he said, reminded me that this can be a very good thing. Anxiety is like the canary in the coal mine. It's a messenger. telling you something. It can serve as your friend if you heed, if you listen, if you adjust. You just don't want it to escalate. So you don't need to eliminate fear. You only need to manage it. And ways to manage it, for me, have been, and it's the universal principles, deep breathing. Take it deep. When you're starting to feel things to escalate, you got to kind of just catch your breath. You got to take a good, deep breath and let it out slowly. It's kind of like a soft reboot of the nervous system. It really does work. Everybody do that with me. Just, What you want to do is take all the breath into your stomach and then finally into your chest and get it real good. Expand the lungs. Deep breath. And then you let it out kind of through pursed lips. Letting it out longer than when you took it in. If you do that about 2 or 3 times, you have rebooted your nervous system. It's a great way just to root yourself, ground yourself in the moment. Another way of grounding is just slow your thoughts down. Describe your surroundings. Root yourself in the moment. Fear just causes your mind to go way down into the future. And you're starting to like catastrophize on all these. No. Slow it down. Slow the thoughts down. Slow the breathing down. Ground yourself in the moment. Describe your surroundings. If it helps, have somebody put a hand on you. If it doesn't help, just let them sit next to you or whatever you need. Just recognize what you need and give yourself what you need in the moment. But that's in the moment. How do we not even get in the moment? Okay? Taking care of yourself. I'm going to get real practical. You know, you live in a body, and you got to take care of the body. You got to give it what it needs. You got to give it nutrition. Hello? Getting real spiritual now. You got to eat nutritious food. Fruits, vegetables, live food. Drink water. Give yourself sleep. Give yourself exercise. Get out and get to the fresh air. Take a walk. Taking walks for me is like a tonic. I mean, I go and I take prayer walks. I don't listen to music. I just go and I walk, and I'm there with Jesus. I'm listening. I'm available, and I'm getting circulation. I'm getting fresh air, and I'm feeling good. My body's being fed with something it desperately needs. Movement. Take care of your body. Your body is pretty smart. If you start sensing symptoms in your body and you're not listening to it, it's trying to get your attention. And try to listen to what your body needs and give your body what it needs. And I would say you got to take control of your thought life. Take control of your thought life. You got to reflect. What got me to this place where I'm starting to escalate? You didn't just like get there. You got there by degrees. Okay, all of this is by degrees. You got to back the truck up and figure out, how did I get even to the place where I'm escalating? And one of my favorite verses I have to come back to time and time again, and probably you do too, is Psalm 55:22. It says, "Cast your burden on the Lord. Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain you." We all have burdens to carry, and they weren't made for your shoulders. Take that thing and give it to the Lord. This is not my problem. It's your problem. And that's what He wants you to do, to slide it off His shoulder, your shoulder, and onto His shoulders. He can carry that. That's what He wants. Give me your care so that you can live carefree. That's how I want you. I'll take care of that. Give me that. I'll put it on my shoulder. And it doesn't say just put it on. It says cast your burden aggressively, intensely. Cast it on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. He doesn't want you moving down escalating into panic mode. That's not, you're trying to take the place of God. Let him take care of those things. And then one of my favorite verses. I love this. Philippians 4, verse 8. Again, talking about managing your thought life. Paul says in Philippians chapter 4, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is anything excellent, if there is anything worthy of praise, think on these things. So I've taken that and I've just literally made out a grid and I've plugged in things that I think is honorable, I think is just, I think is pure, lovely, commendable, excellent, worthy of praise, and I just put them in there and I just go through that list and I just literally go in my mind to those places and I let my mind marinate in these things. And Paul says, practice these things. Practice them. You got to practice. You got to put this into practice. Practice these things, and I love this. The God of peace will be with you. Not the peace of God, but the God of peace. Which would you rather prefer? The peace of God, which is a lovely thing, or the God of peace? Oh, I can't operate life without peace. I've got to have it. Peace is my power. And so when the God of peace is with me, I'm invincible. When I don't got peace, man, I am frail. I'm given over to panic stuff. Oh, I can't do it on my own. I need Jesus. Fear is a messenger. But panic is when the messenger takes the throne. You hear me? Fear is okay. Keep the knob at a 2 or 3. It's a messenger. It's talking to you. It's telling you things. Listen to it. But when fear becomes panic, it's like he takes the throne. So don't let fear have the throne. Don't let fear have the mind, the heart. Those things are your throne. Don't let the messenger sit in the throne. Let the God of peace take his place in the throne. And then everything else will come into proper alignment. Most of our fears turn out to be completely imaginary. It's better to accept things as they come. And that goes for, in our day and age, we have all this medical technology, right? So we got all these scans, and we got all these scopes. And we see things that I don't think half the time we're supposed to see. We got a spot here and a dot there and it just sends us into these, like, we go way down the road, and don't you ever try to diagnose yourself on Google. You'll be dead the next week. Stay in the moment. We got colonoscopies, mammograms, CAT scans, MRIs, blood panels, biopsies. Good Lord. So those things can really get us way too far down the line. Jesus says this, Matthew 6:34. He says, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. I have enough trouble today than to have to take on trouble down 10 years down the line. What's going to happen? You'll get there. Okay? There's enough stuff to deal with today. Live where you are. Live where your feet is at. And live there. Be concerned about the things that is on your plate today. The fear of suffering many times causes more suffering than the suffering ever does. Period. The fear of suffering causes more suffering than the suffering ever inflicts on us. Isn't that true? Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. So reject the kind of fear that sends you into panic. So Genesis 19 encourages us, if you'll put up that third slide there. It encourages us to reject the kind of fear that keeps us in denial. It encourages us to reject the kind of fear that sends us into a panic. And then now here in this third section, verses 27 through 38, we're going to see how we need to reject the kind of fear that leads you into deceit. Verse 27. And Abraham went early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord, in Ananias' text last week. And he looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the valley. And he looked, and behold, the smoke of the land went up like the smoke of a furnace. So it was that when God destroyed the cities of the valley, God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot had lived. Now Lot went up out of Zoar and lived in the hills with his 2 daughters, for he was afraid to live in Zoar. That's the place he wanted to go in the first place. Okay. So he lived in a cave with his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said to the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man on earth to come into us, after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve offspring from our father. So they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father. He did not know when she lay down or when she arose. The next day, the firstborn said to the younger, Behold, I lay last night with my father. Let us make him drink wine tonight also. Then you go in and lie with him, that we may preserve offspring from our father. So they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger also arose and lay with him, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. Thus, both the daughters of Lot became pregnant by their father. The firstborn bore a son and called his name Moab. He is the father of the Moabites to this day. The younger also bore a son and called his name Ben-Ammi. He is the father of the Ammonites to this day. Lot's daughters were afraid. And it led them to make some very poor decisions. But they have not been given the best of examples, have they? Not to discount what they did, because Jiminy Christmas. But it seems that they picked up on their dad's fear. And I would say, parents, be very careful how you conduct your life. If you live in fear, if you act in fear, if you speak in fear, these things become generational. They show up sometimes in a more profound state in the next generation. There's things I have to often correct in my kids, and I know where they got it from. It's always kind of a chagrining thing. I know where you got this from. It seems that these 2 daughters have picked up on their dad's fear, and it led them into deceit. Verse 31 says, There is not a man on all the earth to come into us after the manner of all the earth. Oh, they're afraid. And so they concoct this design to do something that they thought would probably be a good thing to do. There is not a man on earth left to marry. Our family will come to an end. I mean, just to be fair for a moment, put yourself in their shoes. Troutdale has just been destroyed. Gresham has just been destroyed. And you're living up in rhododendron. You're living in some caves up in rhododendron in complete isolation. This is worse than COVID. Did we have mental illness during COVID? Do you think these guys had mental illness? They probably had some trauma they were dealing with, PTSD, okay? So their thinking is distorted. They know it's wrong, so they lie. They proceed with their plan, and they go into a state of complete deceit. They know it's wrong. Did they have to do this? Did they have to do this? Do we have to do this? The answer is no. Nothing was forcing them. Nothing is forcing us. Yes, we might have instability. Our thinking is twisted and distorted, but we know it's wrong. They knew it's wrong, and yet they went into deceit, and so do we. Do we have to do it? No. Fear often, though, leads into concealment. We like to conceal the things that we're not proud of. When we're afraid, we start hiding things. Can't let anyone know. I have to control this situation. I've got to scheme to do it. So, fear says, if you tell the truth, you'll lose everything. If you tell the truth, if you're honest about this, it'll ruin you. So you just better hide it. So we cover things up. And this is what I hate. I hate this kind of fear. And we got to act against it. We got to be quick. We got to have people who are close in our lives who see us at our worst and still loves us. You got to foster those kinds of relationships so you're not stuck in isolation. Fear has torment because it includes punishment. But there is no fear in love. Perfect love casts out fear. You're afraid of yourself right now. You're afraid for yourself, and you got to get out of that self mode and to get into love, because perfect love casts out fear. So you got to be in relationships that have fostered that kind of honesty. You got to, if you don't have that, you got to get there. You got to foster that. You can't get stuck. You can't go into deceit. You can't go into lying. It ruins people. It ruins ministries. It ruins ministers. It ruins families. It ruins marriages. We got to get that out of our lives. We got to reject the fear that leads us into any forms of deceit. Fear-driven deceit always creates deeper problems than the ones we were trying to avoid. Please hear that today. These girls thought they were securing their future, and all they produced was two nations that would trouble Israel for the next 1,000 years. The Moabites and the Ammonites came from this situation right here. God's people who just went sideways because of fear. That's the result of fear-driven deceit. Reject it. Reject it. It always grows way beyond the moment. You don't want the results of fear-driven deceit. You don't want it. And that's why Genesis 19 is a warning to us. There's fear all throughout this passage. Sometimes there's fear all throughout our lives. Some fear is good. Other fear that takes us into 3, 4, 5, 6, and down the spectrum there, is to be rejected outright, because the result of that thing is not going to serve you well. So reject the kind of fear that keeps you in denial. Reject the kind of fear that leads you into a panic. And reject the kind of fear that leads you into deceit. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Say it to yourself. Say it to yourself every single day of your life. Because fear sucks, right? It's our mortal enemy. We don't really, who's our enemies? We got spiritual forces, but the only thing they can do is propagate fear and lies. They don't come at you with like little weapons and stuff like this. You don't have stuff to really fear other than these things. Fear and lies. So I wonder here if you're here today. Wonder if you're here. You've been in denial. I wonder if you're here today and you've been experiencing some panic. Or perhaps you've been here and you've been dabbling in some deceit. God is here to set you free. And I remind you, if you've put your faith and trust in Jesus, He has already set you free. Look with me at verse 16 again. Look at 16. So the men, the two angels, seized him and his wife and his two daughters by the hand. God has done this for you. He has seized you by the hand, the Lord being merciful to him. I love that phrase. It reminds me of Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1 says, "And you were dead in your trespasses and in sins, in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience, among whom we all once lived in the passions of our flesh, carrying out the desires of the body and the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, like the rest of mankind. But God, being rich in mercy, because of the great love with which He loved us, even when we were dead in our trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved. Not because you overcome your own little fears and panic moments, but despite those, He has snatched and clutched you and grabbed you and brought you outside the city of destruction. He has done that for you. Jesus is our salvation. That's what His name is. That's what His name means, salvation. He has set us outside of the city of destruction. He has done that for us. But to stay free, He needs you to say no. He needs you to reject the fear, to say no to the fear that makes you hesitate and linger. He's already set you outside of the city. You no longer have to fear. All these things, the antidote to all these things is trust. You're in denial because you're not trusting. You're in panic mode because you're not trusting. You're in deceit because you're not trusting. Trust takes care of it all. Come back to trust. He has already delivered you if you placed your faith and trust in Jesus Christ for your eternal salvation. He has saved you. Therefore, to stay free, say no to fear, the fear that makes you hesitate and linger when you know the house is burning. Say no to fear that makes you negotiate You don't want to go all the way with God. He says, escape to the hills, so you choose this other, like, mediocre position. Sometimes you're even tempted to sell out those who are closest to you because you're trying to negotiate because of fear. Say no to that. And say no to the fear that makes you compromise. You've been covering up and lying about the things that you're not proud of. Say no to that. So today is a moment to decide, is fear going to drive me? Is fear going to shape me? Is fear going to push me into hiding? And today, with the help of the Holy Spirit and with the church community, you can reject that afresh in your life. Reject the kind of fear that keeps you in denial. Reject the kind of fear that sends you into panic. Reject the kind of fear that leads you into this deceit, because these distort the soul. Reject it. Reject it. So if you'd like to receive some prayer today, I'm going to end with a song. Feel free to make your way up to the front, and we would be happy to pray.